Castle does, and this episode is special because there's a little bit of backstory to this. Actually, not really. It's just really silly. So in my playtesting and searching for things to fix all over the game, one of the amusing things that I stumbled upon is this. So, I don't know if you get to see that very clearly. It was one of the. It was sort of just joking around between level designers. One of the level designers called one of the other level designers a noob, and then put like a face, like an emoticon on the wall. I decided that that's while that kind of stuff is hilarious. I'm just gonna go ahead and fix it up and at least get this not looking totally bad. And it's outside of scope for our next milestone, but well, our next big milestone, but I'm still gonna work on it a little bit and get it looking at least nice enough, presentable. So that was basically the goal here. This area will end up looking very different once actual work begins on it, because that is actually a kelp forest biome, but it's outside of scope, so we may even change that and come up with some other kind of cool crystal forest biome. Oh, who knows what the hell we'll do? What the future will hold. Um, yeah, so it's basically just doing all that. Yeah, overhang, overhang. Look at all that. You know what? So I decided that I'm doing my videos instead of every day. I'm going to be doing them. If you're watching this by now, you probably already know that instead of every day, it's every weekday. This was a spot that I found that was annoying, where the geometry just didn't quite line up. It wasn't anything like fancy or crazy or terrible, but it was just something that I saw. Another thing I saw was that since the materials changed, one of the materials changed and it didn't quite look right. So there's this white coral that I used a lot in this area. The white coral material changed so that it looks more like spider webs or something. It looks really weird in game at the moment. It's not meant to be used in the way that it's being used here, so I just took it out um, and used the find replace feature, and that was really all that needed to happen in this area. But these like little tiny fixes and doing lots of them, adds up pretty quick. I also noticed that there was like really cool like extra geometry that one of the other designers added to this area. I thought that was pretty cool. I checked it out. Right here, I'm searching because when I was playing the game, there was like one thing of grass that was completely like wigging out, and I figured it was because it was the wrong material or something. So I can see it in the editor because the grass doesn't animate in the editor. So I guess maybe it didn't have a chance to freak out on me. So I just like searched around and like grabbed the material and then just kind of like went over the whole area and hopefully I got it. I'll be testing. Now, this is an area that I had done fixing earlier, but this particular area right here I'm saying area a whole bunch again, uh, was blank. And it's sort of like right on the edge of scope for our next big milestone, but um, it looked a little too plain. Like I don't want anyone like coming up to an area that's supposed to be in a playable space and find this big empty thing. So I decided that I would just take it upon myself to make sure that this area has at least some, something going on that is not just plain geometry, and just make sure that you don't encounter some blank area or something. So that's what I'm doing right now. And kind of filling in the space too. It looks pretty neat. And at this point too, I get to finally start seeing some of the other materials that were added, like in the Safe Shallows new rock. That green rock was replaced. which is a great thing because that like really badass because it's fucking awesome. His extra materials are like fucking amazing. Yeah, yeah. I want more variations of this rock too. I want just more of all of it, more of all of it. So I'm kind of continuing over what was done in the rest of this area over here. Uh, well, the grass was a little bit too close. I wanted to make sure that there was a zero space because this area didn't seem like we were combining the two biomes. They're just neighboring each other. So kind of doing the same things that I saw, like bringing some of that rock, that weird like transition material kind of edged over. I'm doing like a copy paste and like sort of planting. Copy paste is a little weird. It does work. I mean, there it is. I end up getting some weirder results than I was expecting. Uh, there it is. Plow. So I just start making changes to it. That is actually one of the easier ways to do it. You just plop down something that already exists, and then you just make changes to it and start plopping models on top of that. So I got a little bit of this, and a lot of this was just floating around the game looking for stuff. And holy crap! Like a lot of the time that I've been working on the game, there was a lot of focus. If you go through all my videos, you'll notice that there was a lot of focus on taking it easy and like not doing too much or kind of. But playing the game, there is some crazy stuff. Like, okay, so like what happens sometimes when level designers, like one level designer will go really crazy and do something, and then another level designer will see it and go, "Holy shit!" and then try and like one up it, and then it kind of becomes like a little friendly competition. And before you know it, you just it's what usually happens in mapping communities as a whole. But for a long time of working on this, I have been practicing restraint, not going too crazy with it. But then I look at some of the areas up in the north side, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Holy fucking shit. I've been I've been not doing nearly as much as this. I mean seriously. So like damn. Ah, I needed to be paying more attention to what was going on up there. Because I wasn't originally working on Kelp Forest stuff, and I knew that I'd take a look at some of the Kelp Forest stuff, but like actually some of these areas are insane. Ah, man. There's no restraint. Oh, well, I guess if I was competing on that front, then and it ended up becoming we would just spiral the game into like building planets floating on top of the water. So who knows? Anyway, thank you for watching.